A study conducted in 2012 found that, on average, when students were asked to focus on a 15-minute task, they were only able to concentrate for 3 minutes at a time before getting distracted. And so, you're not alone. Procrastination, inability to focus, and distractions are things we all love to hate. But in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 legit psychological tips that will help you stay focused and avoid distractions. Number 1, distractions as self-soothing techniques. Chances are, when you're trying to study, you're either bored out of your freaking mind, stressed, anxious, nervous, or just all of the above. And surprise, surprise, all of those do not sit well with the brain. Because of the negative mood and all of that discomfort that comes with it, your mind will try to hunt or create tiny instances of self-gratification. Now, with this in mind, distractions are kinda, in a way, drugs. Now that we pretty much laid the groundwork to what distractions are to the mind, my next point is number 2, applied metacognition. Metacognition stands for the awareness and the understanding of your thinking and cognitive process. So it's just basically you being aware of what's going on up there, okay? And so what you can do to be aware of what distracts you is, do you have any of these laying around? Chances are, if you're a notebook freak like I am, you have a bunch of blank notebooks in your room and you don't know what to do with them. A cool way to use these is by making what I like to call a Miko notebook. Miko stands for metacognition, and it is basically a blank notebook that you keep next to you when you're trying to study, and every time you get distracted, you write down in it by what? Let's say you're trying to study for statistics or for finance, and you just, start to wander on your phone and Instagram. Or like you're trying to study once again or do some homework and then the car passes by. Car, window. Number 3, the easy way out. Now, when you're studying for an exam to get an A or to graduate or to finish with a degree or to get the career of your dreams, do you see how far that seems? Whereas distractions, your phone, your favorite movie, etc., are much closer and much more tangible and, more importantly, much more easier. So a way that you can avoid them is to make them hard. Make it hard for you to reach for your phone. Put your phone in another room. So when you have that little itch that you're like, hey, I want to check Instagram. We're all crackheads. Jesus. You cannot just like, oh, it's right there. I'll just grab it and see how easy that was? Whereas if your phone is in another room, oh boy, I have to get up, I have to open the room, I have to go all the way there, go get my phone. See how more difficult it becomes to get distracted? Number 4, organization and external interruptions. Now, I am well aware that not all distractions come from within. They can come from outside. So let's say your family members just barging in, hey, what do you want for dinner, kid? When you're trying to focus. Did you know that on average, people are 50% more likely to make mistakes in what they're doing and also take 50% longer to complete their task versus someone that experiences less to like none at all interruptions. A way to avoid external interruptions is to go in a place where they are at their minimum. So let's say a school library in a little corner where there's not a lot of foot traffic and people walking by. In terms of organization, there's a quote that says that your inner state is often a reflection of your external state. Now, if your room is a complete mess, if your notes are a complete mess, chances are your mind will be just as much. It is not a waste of time to organize, to plan, to make it clear, concise, and to the point. Number 5, overthinking and the power of now. If you've never read The Power of Now, I highly suggest you go on Amazon or on Google, look it up. It is awesome. A quote that really stuck with me from that book goes as follows. It is not uncommon for people to spend their entire lives waiting to start living. As much as analyzing and thinking the pros and the cons of everything is a good thing, mind you, I'm not telling you to just flat out do it without thinking, but overthinking can be a huge roadblock. So when you sit down to try to focus for a long period of time or to try to study for a long period of time, it is very important that you just focus on the present situation, on the now, and don't think about, oh my God, I have to study for math. I failed my past 3 math exams. I am horrible. The first one, shut that part of your brain out. Oh, but in the future, I don't want to become a mathematician. You know, when I think about my future plans, blah, 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 blah. Stop that part too. Right now, are you hungry? No. Are you comfy? Mm-hmm. Is everything, are you in pain? Well then, just do it, yo. So why not take this chance right now, and focus and just do what you're supposed to do. Don't think about your past failures. Don't worry about future failures. Right now, you can win. Number 6, ruminations, distractions of the mind. Rumination specifically is replaying in your mind a negative situation that happened or a negative emotion, or kind of involving yourself in self-sabotage. So your mind is gonna be like, well, you know, that time when something bad happened, this time is gonna happen exactly like that because you can't do it. Well, guess what? Self-fulfilling prophecy. You're gonna bite yourself in the bum. A way to deal with rumination is to find a cathartic way to let those negative emotions out. Some people like doing sports or exercises before studying because it clears the mind and it makes you feel more present. I don't want to say turn off your mind, but turn off your mind. Number 7, respect your brain's schedule. Now, a lot of people have asked me, Anna, how can I get up at 5 in the morning and study like full on, like hardcore? Or like, Anna, how can I like pull an all-nighter before a final and just be super focused and not get distracted and have energy and not procrastinate? I'm like, yo, what about the brain? What the poor brain? Like, what are you doing to it? It's human too. It's part of you. Take care of it. Now, I want you to find out when your brain is the most productive in the day. If you want a little help, I've done some digging, and apparently research suggests that the brain is more able to handle complex cognitive tasks in the early morning. So let's say after 10 a.m. Find out, analyze, write it down in your Miko notebook. Like I said before, write this down, because if you are aware of it, you are going to be able to adapt to your brain schedule and you're going to be able to create the best routine. Number 8, avoid multitasking. Studies have found that there is no such thing as multitasking. The brain is not able to tackle more than one thing at a time. What it does is it task switches. So it's kind of like a light, on and off, on and off, on and off, and all of this is very taxing on your brain power. In fact, it was found that a constant task switching between activities can cause up to a 40% a loss of your daily productivity. And so you're hindering yourself more than anything. One thing that I found works specifically good for me at work was something called batch processing. And it basically means merging every little distraction into one big chunk of hunka and giving it a time and place during your day. So let's say my main distraction at work or at school is checking my mail. Every time I get an email, my phone just goes and I'm like, oh, really? And then I find myself answering that email and answering another email. What I do, and a clear example of batch processing, is that I reserve a time in my day. So let's say between 2 and 3, all I do is mass answer emails. Number 9, grab your attention. A study conducted by Microsoft Canada found that on average, people's attention span in 2015 was 8 seconds. 1 second less than that of a goldfish. Fish. Our attention span is less than that of a fish, people. Wow! There are 2 forms of what neuroscientists call selective attention. Number 1, top-down, and number 2, bottom-up. Top-down selective attention is, Anna, me, I will focus right now. So you are directing the focus and your attention willingly from up here to down there. Now, bottom-up as the name suggests, attention is something that happens in your environment or in front of you grabs your attention. Use this, people. Make the two work in your favor. So if you're telling your brain, okay, now focus, be here and pay attention to what you're reading, but your top down is so like black and white, no images, no color, just text. How do you want your attention to stay there and not get distracted by the red shiny car that's outside your window or by that cute dog that's playing in the park right across from you and he's so cute and he's with the ball and he's drooling everywhere. Oh my god, it's so much cuter than statistics, am I right? And finally, number 10 is engage your senses, aka active learning, active reading. When you're studying, I want your studying to be the same as playing a game. I want you to finish things. I want you to make it fun and engaging and just like be so in it to win it, man, that it's insane. Turn it into a game. Turn studying into fun time. And so with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to me if you like what you see, because I post videos every Thursday, and because my camera's back on now, I shall post 2 videos this week, so stay tuned. Love you. Bye.